Hello, and welcome to Game Overcast, episode 56, where, wait for it, dun 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 dun, we're gonna talk about some games!
What?
That's right.
What?
This is a podcast about games.
Is it?
Retro games.
What kind of game? Oh, wait.
Games that are
You
retro.
just said.
Retro games that are retro.
Yay!
Dun dun dun! I hope you're ready.
Get ready for it.
Cool, I don't need to put an intro in there. Thanks, Brit.
You are so welcome. Anytime. My services are yours.
Welcome to Game Overcast, episode
Hello.
56. On this show, we're going to talk about stuff, as you will soon find out. What is it? What is this? It's going to be a mystery.
Yes.
It's a mystery even to me until I read the script.
And even to me. But first, I would like to say Happy New Year to everybody.
That's right. Happy New Year. I'm going to make an original joke no one's made so far. Welcome to the Roaring 20s.
Oh, I know. That's everywhere. That's everywhere now. And then also, welcome to 2020, which I think is pretty funny, too.
Yeah, welcome to 2020. SNL gag, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
It's the Barbara Walters thing.
I thought, wasn't that?
Isn't that Barbara Walters?
It is. I thought they did an SNL gag for that, too.
Did they?
I could be wrong. I don't know.
I don't know. You know, I was never, I enjoy the SNL stuff that I have seen. I really enjoy it. But I haven't seen a lot of it, so.
All I know is that it's the 20s, and that my only hope for that gag is that people's god-awful fashion sense will suddenly cease, and people will start wearing
fedoras
like real fedoras, not those scrawny, nasty, skinny fedoras, like hipster fedoras. No. With nice shirts, and nice pants, and stop shaving the side of your head.
Some zoot suits.
Yes.
You want a zoot suit.
Yes, I want class. Whatever, I might be old.
You know what I've
That's fine.
The flapper hair? I could totally go for the flapper hair.
Yeah.
Really cool. Super cool stuff.
So, Brit.
Yes.
I've been now playing some games, and that means we're going to get into playing.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Can I get, you know what I need? And especially after the night we had yesterday, I definitely need some Starbucks.
So, we're going to go ahead and jump on to part 2 of now playing, because I know what Brit's been playing, because she's been playing it with me.
Yes, and it's super addicting, and I've already gotten super good at it.
And I can't lift my arms. That's right, folks. We might be late to the party, but we're playing Beat Saber.
Yes. Oh my God, it's amazing. And I was kind of terrible at it, but
you got so much better so fast.
Right? I feel like I'm proud of myself. I feel like I've done pretty good.
Yeah, we both started playing it yesterday, and you're playing hard stuff. I'm kind of knocking on experts' door already. Mind you, we have a lot of rhythm game experience, so it didn't take long.
Yes, it was to groove.
It was tough for you because you almost fell over a couple times because that you and VR don't get along that well. But I told you that Beat Saber would be a little bit better.
And I have, and I have played a lot of VR games, but it's still really difficult for me. Every time I put on the headset, I feel like I'm just going to fall through the floor.
It is really funny. I had to hold you up a couple times.
It's really funny. And so I was like, can somebody just kind of just put their hand on my shoulder so I know that I'm still here? While I play this game. And then I got used to it, but I can't look down because of the sense of vertigo, which is hilarious because I do not have a fear of heights. But for some reason, when I put on that headset, I just feel like...
There's that weird kind of... what's the word I'm looking for? Like the disengaged, the detachment. I mean, detachment you get when you're playing VR.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really weird. But
Can I have my soda, please?
Here is your soda, ma'am.
Thank you.
So, but if you have an Oculus or an Index or a Vive, and you don't have Beat Saber, you're doing yourself a disservice. Pick it up; it's great.
And let me tell you, I am now desperate to get my hands on that Vader game.
Oh, Vader Immortal.
I need to get my hands on that Vader game because listen. I have had a list of people to force choke since I was 6 years old. I mean, because it's amazing.
Yeah, that's normal.
I mean, isn't it? Okay, but you just have to admit that Vader is super cool and that force choking is super cool.
See, you and me had this discussion a couple of days ago just randomly.
Except I'm too nice to force choke people.
Where you would force choke, we were talking if you could have one Jedi power, what would it be?
Yes.
You would have force choke.
I said force choke.
And I was like, I want to have the mind. I just want to make people force choke themselves just by being persuasive. That'd be so much better.
Okay, see,
but you want to force choke yourself.
Yes.
You want to jump off a bridge. Yes, I do.
Except, see, not everybody has access to the force. So they wouldn't necessarily be able to force choke themselves.
I got to tell you, probably one of the only good good parts of that god-awful Rise of the Skywalker movie, by the way.
It was not god-awful,
which was absolute
but okay.
crap. Somehow slightly better than Last Jedi. I'll give them that.
I actually really enjoyed it, and I think that it was a fun ride, and that's what Star Wars should be.
Sure.
And, like, I get it. Was the movie perfect? No, it absolutely was not.
It was garbage.
But it was good. I liked it overall. And yes, I don't want to say I want to say spoilers so bad, but I don't.
It sucked.
It doesn't. Go watch it. I think it's worth seeing in theaters. When it comes out, I will buy it.
It was really funny,
I actually really liked it.
The Jedi mind trick thing, which is like,
yes.
It's okay that we're here. It's okay that we're here. You're relieved that we're here. Oh, thank God you're here.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
That was really good, yeah.
I was quite pleased with that.
I feel like that's not used enough. And I guess I could see why, because I feel like it could be kind of seen as like an evil thing, right?
Mind control?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can see why the Jedi would not want to use that too often.
It's amazing.
But
you want to give me chicken McNuggets.
Right,
I want to give you chicken McNuggets. You want to give me some fries? Please have some fries.
I am living for the child memes with the chicky nuggies. Like, it's my favorite.
I was so happy when Baby Yoda got punched in the face.
Spoilers! No, you can't say that.
It's been out for like a week now.
That's
whatever.
True. Oh my God, I cried. I was like literally screaming at the TV.
I was laughing. There were tears of joy. Like someone actually heard me and punched Baby Yoda in the face.
He is so sweet.
Thank God. So yeah, we've both been playing Beat Saber a whole lot.
Super good. And it ties in,
yeah, my arms
because you have sabers.
Me. Yeah, my arms hurt real bad. I was playing one of the Halo songs, and that you wouldn't think that's bad, but then it just keeps going, and your arms start to turn into noodles, a la Invader Zim. And
I can imagine that would be difficult playing that on hard.
It's quite rough.
Expert.
I mean, the only difficulty available was hard. Thank God. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to do an expert or expert plus like that Persona song. No, thank you. But also, I have been playing, and I just think this is hilarious, Brit. Mm-hmm. All the games that came out this holiday.
Yes.
All things do. Guess what I'm playing? Rogue Legacy for like the sixth time.
Oh my God! Let it go.
Well, I saw it at Best Buy that Limited Run had the really cool physical copy. And you know how I have this like massive obsession with owning physical copies of games?
Yes, and Limited Run is super cool.
So that means I've bought Rogue Legacy on Steam, on PS4, on Vita, and on Switch.
That doesn't surprise me.
My bad. I also bought a physical copy for PC when that came out with Axiom Verge. So I own that too. So that's what
you really love that game.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 6. I think 6 now, if my countings are correct. I've bought that game 6 times.
Oh, wow.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yep, I mean, honestly, if it's a good game and it's worth it, I think it's worth, supporting the developers. Absolutely. Definitely. 100%.
I played it today and I've killed the first boss already. I'm a little rusty, so it took me a couple of tries, but I got the big eyeball dead and I'm moving on. It's gonna be great. What about you? Have you been playing anything other than Beat Saber, or has that been your entire life?
No, not really. That's kind of been my entire life is Beat Saber. And I've been trying to get in some drawing whenever I can, but it's really hard. During the holidays, like it's super, super difficult. Yeah. So, it feels like there's 0 hours in the day. So yeah, basically just Beat Saber. And my freaky fetus came in finally. My Death Stranding collector's edition. I know that sounded really weird. That's why I was like, I need to say it.
Just a moment there.
Yeah, and first of all, it's scary. But I love it. And I'm talking about the collector's edition. I actually haven't even popped in the game yet. So
but it's there looking creepy and in a tanky dead.
Yes. Yay. It's weird with like this yellow orange light coming from it. It's kind of creepy, but I love it. But yeah, so I cannot wait. I know that's a game that I'm going to dig. So
good.
I'm excited.
I am pleased. You must tell me how it is.
Yes, I will.
If I ever have time to play it. So let's drop on some news really quick because there was a lot of news the past few weeks. I'm only going to touch on 2 things that I care about, and if you don't like it, tough. So we actually got to see the new Xbox, the Xbox Series X, or as you call it, the Xbox Mini Fridge.
Absolutely.
They've gone straight up PC Tower on this thing. It's just a big box.
But it's still going to play discs.
Oh, yes.
Which I think is super cool.
I think it has to stand up now, and so it's going to be a little bit weird for storage because most consoles kind of lay flat. And they did that.
But it doesn't seem that large. Like
it's big.
Is it? So it is like the literal size of a PC tower.
It's a mailbox.
I mean, obviously not, but it's console size. Because like from the picture, and to be honest, I didn't look at it too closely, but it kind of just looked like a tiny tower.
It's big.
It's big? Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. But apparently it's got all the power and the 4K and the magic, and that mattered so much for the Xbox One X when there was no games to play on it. So we'll see what happens. I mean, Microsoft has bought out lots of developers.
I mean, yeah, that's true. And I have a feeling, if they're smart, they will learn and they will adapt. Keyword, adapt.
Yep.
And I think they're going to adapt, and I think they might nail it.
Yep.
I think they're going to nail it. So I'm
agree.
just hoping that Sony nails it as well. Because I'm not adverse to owning two consoles. I already own two consoles.
So do
I own Xbox One and a PlayStation 4, and a Switch. So, let's do it, man. Yep. Let everybody be awesome. May 2020 be an amazing year for gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On some alternate news, on the other end of the spectrum, it's finally happened. Mats of the world rejoice. They announced Axiom Verge 2. And I called you the second that happened. Yes. I was like, Brittany! Oh, yeah!
I remember you telling me that. Man, that soundtrack is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it is hard to believe that is done by one person.
Back at it again, dude. Oh, it looks so good. And it looks like they're adding more. There's almost like a mining element, and you've got like a whip thing, and just it's more Axiom Verge. I'm sold. There could have been a title screen, and I've been like, "Here's my money."
I know.
Take
yeah.
it. I'm gonna buy your game probably a dozen times.
Yeah.
Just like the last one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every version you make, I'm gonna buy.
Because it's so good. Oh man, that soundtrack though, it's good. Yeah. It's really good.
It's a real good.
I think as long as he stays the same formula, it's going to be just awesome.
Definitely. Just knock it out of the park. 100%. So last episode we mentioned we were going to do our top games of the 2010s or the decade.
The decade, yeah.
I have decided herewith to change that and to kind of hop in the time machine. And we're going to do something a little different. I want you to go with me now on a journey.
Oh, Lord.
A voyage, if you will. Back in time. We're going to roll back the clock to the year 2000.
It's crazy because sometimes I often think 2000, that was 10 years ago, right?
Nope, it's a good 20
it
now.
Absolutely was not. It was 20 years ago, and that blows my mind.
Let's step back 20 years, folks, when they thought computers were going to blow up at the stroke of midnight and Star Wars prequels were still happening. The Bad Ideal was still going.
Yeah, please, let's not mention
Lord of the Rings was still new. This is the movies were.
I remember.
But The Matrix had just come out.
I also remember that was 99.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It had just come out.
Yeah, it just come out. Yeah.
Let's go back there with me, all right? We're going to talk about some of our not necessarily all of our favorite, but some of our favorite games because there were a lot of good things in 2000, 99 through 2001. Oh my god. Good stuff. So I just made a list of a couple of my favorite games we're just going to run down in no particular order. Brit, I know you made a list of a few also.
I did.
I know this was kind of slapdash that I threw together here, but I think it'll be a cool idea. A lot more retro to talk about, so that should be better, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
I believe so. Would you like to go first? You want me to go first?
I guess I can, just real fast, because my list is actually shorter than yours.
Oh, I can go first if you want.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So, first one on my list, a lot of these games, of course, being a lot of my favorites I've talked about in the past. So I tried to spread it around a little bit, but I'm going to put Tacky on the fringe on here. It is one of the best space games ever. And then there's Bruce Campbell in it. I've talked about this game 1,000 times, but it's glorious. You're Bruce Campbell. It's a space game. You fly around. You blow crap up. And it's Bruce Campbell. I mean, Bruce Campbell is Jesus. It's the best. Yeah. And he insults you when you cheat. It's brilliant. That's amazing. I love it. But yeah, we're just going to blow through it. I've talked about it before. I'll move on. Tachyon, great game. Came out in 2000, I think summertime, give or take. If you can find it now on GOG or something, it is one of the coolest games you will ever play if you like space shooter sims like X-Wing or Star Lancer or anything like that. It is brilliant. What you got for me, Brittany? So I put Alice on my list because, as you know, American McGee's Alice, yeah, because it's just amazing. It is an amazing platformer. I wish that they would remaster it. For the newer consoles. That would be nice. Put it on Switch or something. Current so you take consoles, it with I should say. Oh my god, I would love it on the Switch. Please do that. Do you know if he has any kids, by the way? American McGee? Yeah. I have no idea. If so, what would he call them? Kentucky? Oh my god. That was a dad joke right there. You're welcome. You're welcome. The first one's free. Second one is also free. But yes, so
American McGee. It's amazing. It's a platformer. You know, I love platformers. It definitely has to go on my list because the art style.
It's dark.
It's stunning.
Edgy.
It is.
It's a little goth girl's dark dream of going around stabbing cats in the face. And
yeah, I'm still that goth child, so yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Very good. So my next one is a game that I bet you haven't played, but you'd probably like to play at some point, and that is Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. Pre-Bloodlines here. This is a top-down RPG kind of turn-based thing where it starts off back in ye olden medieval times and you're a crusader, a knight. And the game actually starts when you get turned and you fall asleep. And then you wake up in like modern-ish days, like in the 80s and the 90s, and you have to go around and do things. And
yeah, and it's like a lot of it is point and click, right? And you're trying to solve... Yeah, I have played that.
You have? Okay. Yeah. So good. You actually end up killing Cain in the end of it all also, which is the original vampire, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Blah. And then there's different endings where you can do this. You can become the new evil lord, overlord, blah, blah, blah. Or there's like another like boring, lame-o ending where you can be like, I didn't want to do that. Nah. But really good game. If you're into Vampire the Masquerade, you know, play Bloodlines, play this, and then let's all pray and hope to God the new one isn't garbage. Bloodlines 2, I guess, technically, which is coming out this year now that we're in 2020.
Yes.
Hey.
I am so ready for that because the goth child, again, is internally screaming. So, excitement. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so you know it. I have to. It's Diablo 2.
Of course. And rightfully so.
You and I, oh yeah, it's amazing. And you and I put so many hours into Diablo 2 together. I don't know if you remember that. Because I feel like, I don't know. You remember that, right?
It's been a long time, but yeah.
It's been a long time, but yeah, we played some Diablo 2. That was, gosh, 8 years ago? I think.
I actually played Diablo 2 like last week.
Yeah, you did. Also. But the last time you and I played Diablo 2 together.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
I think it was like 8 years ago.
Definitely.
And yeah, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Hard eyes.
Awesome. Awesome Barb. Ooh, leaping to...
I love the sound effects. Okay,
so cheese.
You know when you drop an item, I need to make that my text tone. It's beautiful.
We've talked about that before. Yes. We really need to do it at some point.
Yeah, I'm desperate for it.
Glorious. Hoping to God Diablo 4 is good. Like all these games, like, man, this game is great. I really hope the sequel's just as great.
I'm sure Diablo 3 was amazing. I mean,
eventually.
I know.
It took it a while.
I love Diablo 3. You and I have beat Diablo 3 like, what, 4 or 5 times already?
Easily. Yeah. I go a lot further than that.
Because you played it a lot more than me. But you and I together, I think we've beat it like 4 or 5 times.
I'd still say almost probably a dozen, even with you.
Yeah.
Just killing Malthael really quick or Diablo at the end. Like, okay, moving on.
It's just so beautiful. And the trailer for Diablo 4 is so beautiful. Yeah. I think I watched it like 20 times.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm ready for it. Good. It could come out today. I'd be happy.
Me too. As long as it doesn't suck.
Right. I don't think it will.
Right, moving right along. This might be our quickest show ever.
It's kind of surprising.
I mean, we're just not.
I feel like we've been saying that. Like even the past 2 shows, we've kind of been saying that, and they have been a little bit faster, but they've still been kind of long. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like instead of a 2-hour show, it's 1 hour, but 1 hour is still kind of a long time.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get this one in. Hell, I bet you we can do this 1 hour 45 minutes. Let's go.
What?
Speed run. What? Not really, but we're gonna move along here. Giants Citizen Kabuto. I know I've talked about this game before, and it's not very well known.
I was going to say, I don't recall.
But holy crap, this game was, 1, hilarious. And 2 is really solid gameplay where you played one of 3 different factions where you're these take it back. You were these siren women, which originally had no shirts, but then they changed that because they realized that may not be appropriate for a game. These 3 like little midget, tiny people, space marines, or Kabuto, this big giant fellow, would just sat on things and ate them. And it had this amazing kind of Earthworm Jim sort of sense of humor.
Interesting.
Very British, very kind of Monty Python kind of gaggy. And,
really?
Oh, it was glorious.
Because the title sounds like it's really serious.
You would think so, but no. It was most definitely not. I loved it. Great game. Same people who made Armed and Dangerous, which is another great game. To give you an idea, Armed and Dangerous has a weapon where you stick this lever in the ground, twist it, and the world flips upside down, and you hang onto the lever and it almost falls off into space. That kind of sense of humor. It's great.
Okay, I dig it.
It's most bueno.
Okay, so, all right. I know we just talked about how I pretend that the prequel trilogy doesn't exist with Star Wars, right? Okay, I do. Everybody does. Don't be shy. You know you do. But I love.
Pretend that the sequel trilogy doesn't exist now. Also,
no, come on. It's actually good. Like, come on. Okay. But I love the heck out of the Star Wars pod racing game.
Ooh, I agree.
Yes.
That game was awesome.
Yeah, and you and I actually play that one a lot too. And every time we go to an arcade that has it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to sit here forever and play this one game.
You can break, I know top of this, but you can break the hell out. I've shown you the debug menu before,
It's a
right?
rush.
Where you can crank up the maximum speed and make your 64 start to cry.
No.
It's amazing. But like, there's no limit. You can just do it until the system freezes.
Oh my god.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't remember actually playing that game fairly for a very long time. Except at the arcade version. And when I play that, I'm always afraid I'm going to break the handles because I'll get it.
You get intense.
I get into games, okay? It's a proven fact that if you jump when your character jumps, or you kick when your character kicks, it's at least 26.2% faster, okay? Confirmed scientific fact, all right? I talked to Neil deGrasse Tyson, he said, and it must be true that way. He talked to me on Twitter the other day, and it's confirmed. 100% confirmed. But yeah, I'll take that.
Yes,
go pod racing.
because it's so fun. And there's nothing to it. It's just racing.
Standard,
but it is so addicting. And it's fun. It's just good fun. If you need something, if you're having a bad day, and you just want to have fun, that's a fun game.
I need some pod racers to race.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mr. Lennon. Next one on my list is a kind of a two-parter thing, and it's funny because MechWarrior 4 came out in the year 2000. MechWarrior 5 came out like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a gap.
Because I'm also playing MechWarrior 5 on and off right now, and it's a little rough around the edges, but nothing beats getting into the cockpit of an Atlas or a Hunchback or an Annihilator or like a cute, like tiny little cicada and running around and fire, or a King Crab, and you don't know what I'm talking about, do you? They're the different
I'm just gonna smile and
battle mechs. Like the Atlas is like the standard big giant humanoid with a skull head and giant pulse lasers. And the King Crab it looks like Ed 209, you know, the RoboCop. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, thank God. Except it's got these little pincer claw things that have these particle projector cannons in it. I said that so you wouldn't, because you know what a PPC is.
I just love seeing this reenactment that you're doing, like this, with your hands and everything. It's excellent.
It feels good. It is not a high speed game. You are in a 50, 70, 100 ton robot, and it feels like it. Where you gotta like crank the throttle and you can shoot other robot in the legs or in the face and do different things. You can salvage parts, and it's kind of like a money management thing where you got to get things, but you got to manage your pilots and manage your repairs. And it's guys, it's got robots and it's got beams. Okay, I'm talking about 5 now, but MechWarrior 4 was also a glorious experience. Very similar, just not as pretty. Good stuff. Sorry, I'll shut up now.
No, this is good. Good stuff. I dig it.
Always got to work the robots in somehow.
Okay, I know, you do.
Gotta squeeze it in there.
Hey, man. That's okay. Okay. Because you knew
Violent Suit Castle did not come out in the year 2000.
It did not, unfortunately, sadly. But if you haven't played Violent Secret Castle, you totally should, because it's really good.
Yep.
Majora's Mask.
Hey, did that come out in the year 2000?
Yeah.
Wow.
Came out, right? That was 2000.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
I'm
yeah, because my next one also came out in that same year, and they both used the expansion pack.
Okay, I'm going to double check.
Okay.
I am pretty sure it's the year 2000.
You're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they both wonderful 4 megabytes of speed boosting RAM on the N64. That's just, it's hilarious. And you tell a kid like, yeah, man, the expansion pack was big. It doubled the 64's memory. How much?
Yeah.
4 megabytes.
October of 2000, October 24th. And how fitting is that? Because I do think it is one of the creepiest Zeldas. Like there's just an undertone of darkness.
Ominous.
And yes, it's like foreboding.
It's about accepting your impending death.
Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like really foreboding. And that song, Day 3, still stresses me out. If I hear it, I'm just like, oh, what am I going to do? So, yes. But
if only we all had flutes that could take us back in time.
I know, right?
Very good. So mine, as spoken of already, also was a N64 2000 game. Perfect Dark, the spiritual successor to GoldenEye, where you play this awesome female secret. Everyone knows what Perfect Dark is. You're Joanna Dark. You do secret agent stuff. It turns into a science fiction game halfway through.
Really cool.
Where you save an alien named Elvis.
That's amazing.
He talks like this, and it's wonderful. With really bad jokes like "I've got a headache," and with a headache like this, that's no joke. It's awful. But there's cool weapons for the 64. It was a glorious FPS, super expansive multiplayer modes. It's the bueno. You could shoot through walls with a sniper rifle. Also, it was good times. Felt like the Predator. What you got, Brit?
Okay, so next on my list is Space Channel 5.
Of course.
Because I really like rhythm games. I think
As we've discussed.
I think that's why I've actually taken a liking to Beat Saber. Because I used to play back in the day when I was like 10 years old.
Used to play back in the day.
Indeed. Bust a Groove for the original PlayStation. That game is so amazing. And I know... still, till this day, I haven't played it in years, and I know all of the songs. I know the lyrics to all of the songs by heart. Great music, and it's a great rhythm game. So Beat Saber, it kind of took me back a little, and it makes me happy.
I think it's interesting how the two of us, we both really like rhythm games.
Yes.
But we're from different spectrums of rhythm game, where you are Bust a Groove and you're Space Channel.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very much Amplitude.
DDR.
And DDR. And it's like, And we both suck at those other games.
I know. So we're good at our respective ones, like the ones that we really loved and played a lot, and then just kind of terrible. Like, I was terrible at DDR.
Yep.
I tried it for like 2 seconds.
And it's weird. I had like...
It's super fun, but I was
the gift
terrible.
of the big fat white guy that was good at DDR. Because there's a lot of big fat white guys that are good at DDR for some reason. And you can't dance in real life. It just happens to be the game. It's bizarre. Many of us are dead now because we've died because we're big fat white guys trying to dance.
Oh my god. You're crazy.
But it was a good game.
You know what I really, really, really want to play again? Rock Band Beatles. Man, I could slay. I know. I could slay that game now. And I love the Beatles. I adore the Beatles. Yeah. They just make me happy.
To be fair, it was never that tough either. Like, for a Rock Band game, it was reasonably light, because Beatles songs aren't really that complicated.
I mean, they're just amazing. They're amazing, though.
They're not bad, but no, definitely. They're fantastic.
Absolutely. 8 Days a Week.
It was a good...
Love Me Do.
Good example of... music doesn't have to be complicated to move the spirit.
Absolutely. Anytime I have a bad day, I put on the Beatles and I'm like singing at the top of my lungs and I feel great.
Can I tell them
5 minutes later,
a certain story of a certain soundtrack that will always perk Brittany up when she's having rough times? Because it brings joy to my heart.
Oh, yes.
Particularly.
Yes, go ahead. I think I've told this story before.
I think you have, but just in case you haven't.
Yes.
So, Britt, there's one particular year had a really hard time, had a job. And
it was probably one of the worst years of my life.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. So every day on the way to work, she would put in a CD she borrowed from me that was the soundtrack to the 1985 Transformers movie.
Oh my god, but have you listened to that soundtrack? First of all, that soundtrack is gold. Yep. Like every single song on that soundtrack. Well,
except for the Death of Optimus Prime song. We skip that one because it makes me cry.
Yeah, I always skip that one because it makes me sad. But seriously, that soundtrack, just go listen to it. And especially if you have a bad day, go listen to that soundtrack. The lyrics are so positive. They're so uplifting, so hopeful.
So cheesy.
And it's super 80s, which already makes me happy because I love the 80s. And I love 80s music. And so it takes you back. And it's amazing. And I would, okay. And you know me because you know me personally, and I'm not a crier. I'm not much of a weeper unless it's something that's really important to me.
Or there's a cockroach.
And I am sentimental. I am a sentimental person. So if you hit me in the right way,
with a brick,
then yes, I am. But usually I'm just I tough it out and I'm like, no, it's okay. I can get through this. I'm not gonna cry. But that soundtrack would make me cry. I would be in my car and I'd be crying and I'd be like, all right, it's time to turn on this soundtrack. And it was just so uplifting that it would also make me cry. Isn't that weird?
You're a weird person. Then again,
but it was.
Happy music makes you sad also, so it's bizarre.
No, it depends. It depends on what it. Because sometimes I hate those songs that sound really bittersweet. Like that's
the
sad.
awesome opening to Star Trek: First Contact. It's so beautiful.
Okay, but that sounds like the end. You get what I mean?
Pretty though,
because it just sounds like. It sounds like the end of something.
It was also the last really good Star Trek movie, so because Insurrection was okay, and Nemesis was only good because Data blew up.
What?
So, yeah.
What?
Yep.
I'm sorry. What?
Ha 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 ha. Sorry, you can't deny it forever.
I'm sorry.
The new Picard series focuses on him still dealing with Data being dead. Lol.
I'm sorry.
Lol.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I think you're mistaken. There are only 2 Star Trek movies. I don't know what this other one.
No.
What
There's
did
actually.
you call it?
You're still wrong because there's 3 Next Generation Star Trek movies.
There's 3 Star Trek movies.
And then plus Nemesis,
Just
which is 4.
kidding. There's 3.
4. It's okay.
I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about. Podcast at GameOverVideoGames.com. If you also don't know what he's talking about, because Data lives forever. Okay,
he lives on in our
on.
hearts and souls. Okay, so my next game. A couple of these are like, duh, you knew this was going to be on here. Skies of Arcadia came out in the year 2000. Mm-hmm. Do I need to tell you guys about Skies of Arcadia again? Do I really? Because I will.
I feel like you, yeah. Go ahead.
I'll talk about the Moonstone canon. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I mean, it was a good RPG. It was good enough to compete or be better than Final Fantasy in its heyday, which really is saying something. Not the only game on this list that was like that either. But... yeah, I'll shut up. But it's Skies. If you haven't played Skies yet, it's on Dreamcast. A better version's on GameCube. Just play it. It's not easy to find. It's not cheap. It's worth every penny if you like RPGs. Do it. Do it.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you for that glowing recommendation.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay, and the next one is actually the last one that I have on here. And I put it on here specifically just for nostalgic stuff. But Evil Dead, Hail to the King. Even though I do like Fistful of Boomstick, so the ones that came out for the PS2, which was Fistful of Boomstick.
Right.
And, God, what was the other one? It's escaping me.
The weird mutation
Memory,
one. I forgot what it was called. But
hold on.
Where he was like the little mini...
Yeah.
Tiny Evil Ash.
I see the cover in my mind
me
right.
Too.
Regeneration.
There you go.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. I do love those more, but this one came out in the year 2000, and Evil Dead is amazing, and it plays like Resident Evil, which freaks me out. But yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Awesome.
You should find it.
I will knock out my last three.
I'll be honest though, the camera angles are kind of like a little wonky.
It's Resident Evil.
You know?
It's kind of like the point.
But it's good.
Sweet.
I like it.
Very nice. I'll try to speed through these last 3 that I have on here. Because I was trying to do just 5, but I just kept going. I was like, oh, this was good. And this was good, and I had to stop. So also a game I've talked about ad nauseum, WWF No Mercy. In my opinion, the last great THQ wrestling game. The GameCube ones were okay, but this was like the pinnacle of wrestling goodness. Especially during the same time when you had garbage like WCW Backstage Assault, whatever it was called, which was absolute trash. This game was just, it kind of had the nice refined control scheme that it had working on since, was it WCW versus NWO, I think. And then there was... what was it? There's WrestleMania, and there's one more in between there that I'm missing. But
can I be a little savage?
What?
Okay, I was gonna say, isn't the awesome point of WWE or whatever games is that they're bad and fun?
Yes, but the other one wasn't fun.
Okay.
Like this one was bad and amazing.
Okay.
Anyway, it had a solid, really solid wrestler creator where you and me have spent lots of time trying to make us and make other people over and over again, like refining the moves and all the little things, and so good. Still one of the best party games ever, bar none. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, that's right. You don't have any more. I'll go next. Okay, cool. Command & Conquer Red Alert 2. Mm-hmm. Red Alert, I think, is probably my favorite Command & Conquer series over the original one, just because it's this neat alternate timeline where Albert Einstein goes back in time and kills Hitler, but that makes the Russians go crazy instead, and every sequel makes things just a little bit more twisted. It's great. This one, I forget his name. Brit, help me out here. Mm-hmm. You like him a lot. Man, I don't know what his name was. He's the evil psychic dude, Yuri, in Red Alert 2, but... hold on. From Suspiria. You know what I'm talking about. He was also in Blade. He was one of the older...
Udo Kier.
That's the one, yes. Love that man.
He is an amazing actor.
Yeah, he was one of the main characters in this.
Love him. His eyes are so intense.
Piercing eyes.
Yes.
Glorious. So, old game now, super cheap to get. If you like real-time strategy games, Red Alert 2 was one of the finest, in my opinion, up there with StarCraft. Glorious. And last but not least, I mentioned other RPGs that were Final Fantasy contenders, and Lunar 2, of course, come on, people, of course came out in the year 2000. I don't need to talk much about this one either, other than that it was the last good Lunar game, because the one for the DS was crap. Absolute crap. And 2, while not as, at least to me personally, not gut-wrenchingly awesome as the first one was, it was still really good. It was still really pretty, and you have like 5 different ways to play it now, so go out and play it. Please, just do it. It's good for me. It's good for you. It's good for the dog. The dog will also like Lunar, I guarantee it.
Indeed. I am a liar. I have one more.
Sure.
It's Medieval 2.
Of course.
Because how could I not put Medieval on my list? Because Daniel Fortescue is my love. And that's it.
Are you playing the remaster, by the way?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I haven't actually played that much of it, I know, because I just got so swept up in holiday stuff. And then I got a few commissions over the holidays as well that I needed to squeeze in.
Congratulations.
So thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But
hey,
yes.
Didn't you, are you allowed to say about the thing?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
But I cannot, I can say, but I can't show the piece yet.
Yes, that's fine.
But yes, I got a letter saying that I was accepted in an official Ghostbusters art book.
Sweet.
And I was so happy, I cried. Because that really means a lot to me. I mean, Ghostbusters, I've always loved Ghostbusters as a creepy kid. You know, it's kind of like an introduction into to ghosts and monsters and stuff. And of course, it's a piece of classic cinematic history. You know, it will live forever. So yes, it is going to be available. It is pre-orderable through Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So yes, and I'm very thrilled and very honored to be a part of it. So yeah.
Well, congratulations, Brit. That's good to hear. I figure some folks out there who are also into your artwork might get a kick out of that.
Yes.
Okay, well, cool. You know what? We've done it. We're under 40 minutes.
I'm surprised.
We have succeeded.
What is this life?
Witchcraft and or wizardry. It's pretty great. Any final thoughts, Brittany, before we kick it into high gear and hit the road on the wonder bus that is life? I like that.
No, right?
I want to use that later.
Life is a
Wunderbus.
magical mystery tour.
There you go.
Like the Beatles say.
Being driven around by Miss Frizzle.
Oh my god.
One magic school bus.
What if that's like what happened when you died? Like she picked you up and then you were like, it's off we go.
But she's death, so she's like
on
rotting
adventure.
on one side.
Oh god, no.
Sorry.
Jeez. That's monstrous.
It's one of the gods in the Conan survival game where on one side she's like really beautiful and really pretty. On the other side she's like disgusting rotten flesh falling off.
That kind of reminds me of Mazikeen in the Lucifer comics.
Yep, very much so, yeah.
Yeah, very, like where half of her face, and so she wears a mask, like half a mask on only half of her face. Very cool stuff. But no, just I hope that everyone has an extremely happy new year.
Yep, an awesome, and profitable, exciting 2020.
Absolutely. May it bring you happiness and joy and
cookies
and puppies.
Puppies are always good.
Puppies are always fantastic. Or kittens, because kittens are amazing too.
Kittens are disgusting and make me sneeze.
And everything else that's great.
That's right.
That's it.
Soap and toilet paper and Gundams for all of my friends.
Yes, indeed.
We will see everyone later. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much. I am Brittany.
And we'll see you.
I love you guys.
See you or hear you or talk to you or send you some kind of smoke signal next time on Game Overcast.
Bye.
Time for Starbucks.